Welcome back, folks, to another edition to Goosebumps HorrorTown playthrough. This is part 2 to the How I Got My Shrunken Head update, and this is going to be the middle of the road. This is where we're going to finally get some more story to go on with this little event, because we have a bit of some stuff to go through. Also, if you do hear noises in the background, like a fan, I do apologize. It is in the middle of the summer now, so it's getting a bit hot, and you know, you need that fan in the back. But again, stuff like this is nothing new, especially with my computer has a fan, so multi-fans going on. Anyways, I'm talking long enough. Let's just dive right into the thing and find out what we got, shall we? So as we last left off, we started with the first quest with Jordan doing a thing, and I believe we needed to get something from our mate here, which I think he might. I'm not sure if he drops 2. I think he does drop 2, so this will give us enough. So with this, we'll start the next quest popping up right about now. Man, it's hard to sleep with that weird head just staring at me. Of course, you just gotta love the head looking at him just like that. And is it glowing? Or am I just imagining things? Oh, great. Just imagine if it is glowing. Of course it is, and it's small. I know you. Can only imagine that it just does puns. It's floating towards me. Get away, you weird head. Mom, come look at this. The head is alive. It looks so weird, though, when you think about it. Comments. Of course the head stopped glowing as soon as my mom came. Just like in a horror comic. You mean just like Tales from the Crypt? And now I look like a fool in front of everyone. I need to take a walk. Fun fact. Oh, hold on. Wait, is that the weird doctor guy? Glunami? Why is he being so creepy? It's like he's just staring at our house, giving it the evil eye. What's he up to? Your guess is as good as mine, Jordan. Hey, you! Doctor guy! What are you... Hey! Where did he go? Am I imagining things? Jog to work, off stress, talk with Jordan's family, obtain voodoo dolls. 2 of them. This is for part 2. Like I was about to say before, fun fact about Mr. RL. When he was younger, he would always go to a barber shop to get his hair cut, just so he can read some of the comic books, mostly like Tales from the Crypt or things from EC. Which is funny, I mean, to think about, because he's getting the male pattern baldness, and he's just like, at some point you think maybe he lost all his hair because he went to the hairdressers too much. And it's funny because he was commenting on that too. He's just like, as a kid, I used to always want to go to the haircuts, and most kids don't want to do that, but I do, just so I can get to read those comics, because, back in the day, comics were the new evil. Just like now it's video games, or I'm not sure what it is now, but there's always has to be some sort of scapegoat that isn't just, the normal problems. But that's just diving into some other stuff I don't like to be talking about. So anyways, we're going to have him do a new animation, I think, and when he does that, we will be taking a quick look. Zooming in! So let's see. There he is, doing his little shaman thing. For some reason, I could just imagine... What have I got? I can imagine the Ooga Booga adding in there, which you kind of did. I don't know why. You're going to have a lot of jokes like that put in there. That and the fact that the shrunken head gives a look. Like, I know it's based off the book cover, but come on. It got a Crypt Keeper vibe there. Alright, so let's go ahead and do... Yeah, we're going to need Voodoo. Now, thing is, our new character can drop the voodoo thing, but it takes a while. I think I mentioned this, you do need to be 34. And Get a quick look at that. As a again, can't be a video without some yawning. Alright, so he's finally done that. So he's gotten one of these. Now we're gonna have him talk to his family, which just drops in enchanted words. There are other stuff here. At the end of this series, you're gonna see at least all of his animations. The thing what I tend to do as well moving forward is I make sure I highlight all the things that are new. Especially with this video near the end, I actually found out and go, oh wait a minute, there's actually new things here, because I think I was at one point having every character go through quests, and what ended up happening was I looked at them and I noticed that for one of them it was blocked off, like, you need this item. And I'm just like, wait a minute, I don't have, like, I don't remember this seeing there. So then I looked and I'm just like, oh wait, they added some more stuff to some of these characters, so it makes it somewhat interesting. And yeah, as of right now, these poor characters are locked in this block up in the hill here until I have enough money and land to expand to connect all the roads together. And as you can see, Jordan's finally done. Alright, so sometimes past, clicking on some stuff, and eventually, after clicking this, not that, clicking this and this, we should be done. Hello, I'm home. Mom, are you here?
Hello, Jordan. How are you today?
You're not Mom. How did you get in here? Like a vampire, he asked to come in.
Don't worry. Your mother was nice enough to let me in. I've got news from your aunt.
My aunt? What about her? Has something happened to her?
No, nothing's wrong, my boy. She just wants to invite you to her studio near the swamp.
Near the swamp where Shrek lives. Oh no, not the mud monsters. Well, I guess I'm relieved that there's nothing wrong with my aunt. But something's odd. I don't hear from her in years. Then she sends a shrunken head and invites me to the swamp? Yeah, that is weird.
Don't worry about it, Jordan. Your aunt will explain everything when we arrive.
I feel like he's a liar.
Now quickly, get your things together. We must leave soon.
Well, alright. I guess it would be good to see my aunt. Part 3. Prepare for the trip. Renew about Matt. Oh god. Attain feathers. Now this is weird. You get to do the dark cornfield here. I'm not sure if they changed the name, because I thought it was something else or just a cornfield, but now it's just the dark cornfield. But at first, when I was seeing this, I was wondering why was I going out of my way to get a feather. Later on it'll make sense. But, you know, it's neither here or there. So we're going to prepare for a trip, and nothing says prepare like grabbing a sandwich, and he's going to read a book. Okay, so I guess he was just relearning the book from his tribe, I guess. He does mention that later on to Jordan, that he does come from the Muglani tribe. I think that's how you pronounce it. I might be butchering it wrong. The Muglani. Also, I love his scarecrows. They just walk around. They walk around slow at first, and then they just run. Like, they just casually walk by, scare his first victim, and then he just runs around. Man. It's hard to believe it's almost been like a year since this game officially came out. If you want to be technical, it's almost been 2 years in October since this game came out in the beta format. And it's very strange that somebody like me, I've never saw myself being a person who did this stuff where I would just play mobile games. record them and then make videos about this and have this actually end up growing a channel of mine. It's interesting to think about, but here we are. We don't really know what ends up happening in their past. So we got that done. Now, I think this new animation of the not writing the book, but reading the book is a new animation, not new animation. Yeah, it's an unseen animation we have yet before, so let's take a quick look. As you can see, he's reading that book in that fancy looking table with his snake. I'm only assuming his snake is alive and it's not some dummy snake. It's weird, why does he have a snake with him? Like, I guess it's to make it look cool, but at the same time you're wondering what's the deal with that snake. Anyways, I forgot to show this off. The Voodoo drops about this much for 12 hours. And this ended up being the week, and this was the next weekly event, which is the Classic Clock Tower. This is all the stuff you need. I'm going to show it's not to be confused with the Clock Tower, which is 50. It's actually the Classic Clock Tower, which is a bit of moolah. Not by much, but a little bit more, probably $25 more than the other one. So I guess the normal one is more modern and this one's more older. But what's funny too is that before the lawn gnomes actually ended up getting their actual spawn area, this used to be, it's 70. Okay, so it's a little bit less, 20 more. They used to have this kind of building as their spawn point, which is bizarre, but there you go. Oh good, the head's talking now. Head, are you humming? Just what are you? Yeah, that's a good question. Why is it humming? I also tried to get the head to sound a little bit like a Crypt Keeper, but I failed miserably. Also, you love it that it's just silent. Man, I hope my ad can tell me what the heck's going on. I love how it's just doing the silent treatment. How dare it not know?
Jordan, are you ready to go? We mustn't keep your aunt waiting.
Yeah, I'm ready. I just need to grab my head and we can go.
Of course. You wouldn't want to go anywhere without your head. You need it, after all.
What do you mean, I need my head? Do you know something about that head you gave me?
I'm just joking with you, Jordan. Don't worry about it. Come, let's get going.
Expand the Fever Swamp, place start magic table, obtain hairy tarantula toy. So you need the hairy tarantula toys. And yeah, that's a little hint of why you need the Fever Swamp and why it's so, like, the next step behind You Can't Scare Me storyline. But it's weird how you have to place down the table because you need the table in order to do the one task beforehand. So what was the point in asking me to put the table down? That kind of seemed counterintuitive. It's like jumping, it's like a game in the tutorial when I jumped somewhere and then later on it's like, oh, you can jump by pressing the X button. It's like, yeah, no crap. Thanks, Captain Obvious. But I love the foreshadowing that Dr.Glunami, God, the name, man. I gotta love what the doctor, this is a little foreshadowing there, talking about head puns. It's like, oh. This is such a Crypt Keeper episode, isn't it? It's just a bunch of, it's like, you know what, Curly's the 90s version of the Crypt Keeper for the Goosebumps series. So it's like if Curly just wrote this story and just put puns all over the place because he can't help himself. Being dead apparently just makes you just so much punnier than usual. And we're going to have Will take one of the tarantulas we need, because he has an animation that does that by just standing on top of a quote-unquote standing on top of the post here. And the other one we're going to get from the crafting. You can also get it from the Jiggle store if you end up being able to do that. Also, I want to show this off, one of his animations, which is, I believe... Let's see which one I'm going to be doing. I think it was Walk the Snake. think that's the one I did. He drops stuff. Or stuffing. But yeah, so this is him walking his snake, which is just him walking, but he's just petting his snake on his anaconda. It's almost like an anaconda of sorts. It's not that big though, but like, look at that. Look at him petting that snake while he's walking around. Also, I think it's the next quest I ended up bringing up, but I wanted to point this out now. His tribe, not only does they shrink heads, but they also have a way of turning people into animals. Like, I think I show at some point during this playthrough here. Yeah, here it comes. If you remember the last event we did, we talked to the real Mazel talking about how he was cursed by a Muglani. And it just so happens that this guy is a Muglani himself. So it makes you wonder, the snake he has, is that some sort of person who was once a person but now it's just an animal for this guy to serve? Or what's the situation with this? Like, we don't get much information with the snake. Oh, yeah, the cursed voodoo doll. And then I'm like, wait a minute. Need it at the Witchcraft store. Wait. Whoa, hold on now. We got new items? Yes, you do. The Witch Cabin now has new items. They are the Dark Potion, which you need the feather, so that's what explains it. The Cursed Voodoo doll. And then the Expensive Amalgamation. Basically a possessed amalgamation. So the bottom one's going to cost a lot, but it gives you moolah. And if you do have the Jiggle store, there's a chance for you to be able to get it. So here comes the next thing. This is a little bit morbid. You can actually get a snake if you do an animation called Feed the Snake. Not Feed the Snake. He doesn't even have a name. So there he goes. Let's take a quick look. Oh, he just grabs a mouse and just eats it. That's kind of morbid when you think about it too, because then you think about, wait a minute, are those mouse used to be people and now he's just feeding them to the snake that may have once also been a human? This is confused. This is turning dark all of a sudden. We need to fade out. Let's not think about that anymore. Alright, so we got this going here, and I think I'm showing this off because we finished the... Yeah, so that was pretty quick to finish this off, and the reason I'm getting it is because, I don't know, a clock may look good in my town, right next to the town hall here. So, normally I wouldn't want to put it there, but I'm going to put it off to the side a little bit to give it some room. Yeah, right there. So this looks a little bit better. So there you go. So he's done his quest, and that should be it. We're here, Dr.Glunami. But where's my aunt?
To be honest, I was hoping you could tell me where she is.
Oh, you liar. Huh? What do you mean? You're the one who brought me here. Exactly, what's going on?
Your aunt hasn't been seen in some time. You see, she went missing in the swamp years ago.
Just like in the book. Missing? Then why am I here? Are you trying to kidnap me like they did with my sister? Oh great, Vietnam flashbacks.
No, you misunderstand. I was hoping you to help me find your aunt with your abilities.
Dun dun dun. I love how the books kind of, like, these chapters end just like the books where it always ends on the cliffhanger. My abilities? What does playing football have to do with finding my aunt?
You have a unique ability called jungle magic. It's highly prized among my people.
Jungle magic. That's what you're calling a jungle magic. Okay. Whoa. Need jungle magic. Jungle magic? You're insane, mister. Please, just let me out of here.
Am I the insane one? Tell me, who's been seeing glowing heads floating before them?
Wow, what a peeping Tom. Ooh. How did you know about that? Well, you already saw him giving the evil eye before.
I've been watching you, Jordan. You have jungle magic. The Shrunken head's reaction proves it.
That's creepy, though. Why are you staring at him? explain jungle magic, learn about jungle magic, and obtain a dark potion. You need one of them. Now, in a future update, which I'm going to show off, getting the dark potions as of now kind of is hard. But then the next update popped up. It introduces a character that literally just drops it as a quest line for every, like, 3.5 hours, which makes it like, oh, there's no point getting the feathers anymore, so that's great. Makes my life easier. But I'll explain that when we get to there. I won't spoil it here for now, but I'll let you know that if it wasn't for that one guy, I probably wouldn't. It would have been probably a little bit longer for me to get the statue for this event. Hence why I kind of co-opted it out to kind of hide certain things. Also, I didn't realize Wolves Blake's name kind of just popped off on the edge there. Not really something I was looking forward to, but there you go. Right, so I think we're coming close to... I'm not sure if this quest will be finished and then we're going to end it in the next one, or if it's going to be the last part where it's going to talk all of the fun stuff. I think... Let's find out here. So we got all the stuff we need, so now we're going to make a dark potion, which will take us about 3 hours or so. Yeah, so after this quest, the next quest comes up, and then that will be it, and then it's going to show off the things we missed. And also, one last thing. Look, I did something during the time. I got new land. Hallelujah! Now the people are free. Allow me to add some roads to these poor suckers. They've been stuck here long enough. Alright, let's go ahead and fix this here. There we go, look at this. They're free now. Alright, let me just close this off too. There we go, look at this. Now they're free. Now they can explore all over my town without being stuck in the Himalayas. Hallelujah. Alright. Of course, time's passed. We've gotten the dark potion, and I believe the other two characters are done with what they were supposed to be doing, which were tasks. So let's go ahead and find that out. Well, we click on some coins. Yeah, so explain jungle magic and then learn about it. So let's go ahead and see that right here. As soon as I'm done clicking on stuff, that is. Yeah, so they're all over here in his house, I believe. Yeah, it looks that to be... Oh yeah, and by the way, for some reason, some of the items still don't drop coins for some reason. Look, there may be something going on with that shrunken head, but this is just ridiculous.
So, a floating, glowing head isn't enough to convince you, Jordan.
I've had a hard time believing in something called jungle magic. Let's just say that.
I belong to an ancient tribe called the Muglani. Our people shrink the head in your possession. Shrunken heads like this possess great power. You must use its magic to find your aunt.
Who did the head belong to that you shrunk, by the way?
Jordan, I will now teach you how to use the jungle magic to find your aunt.
Oh good, we're gonna learn some lore now. You know how to use this magic?
Of course. And I can teach you to harness its might. Now, listen carefully. And I shall teach you to unleash the power of jungle magic.
Gotta love that. Show magics to Jordan. Try to use magic. Obtain the cursed voodoo dolls. You need 2 of them, by the way. That's really ridiculous. Ah, here's his magic, so let's go ahead and do it one more time. Slow motion. Because I have no line. Because I am failed when it comes to trying to put some humor in there. If you're curious about the Ooga Booga that I've used, that's actually a sound clip from a Crash. I think it's from one of the original PlayStation original game versus the newer ones. But yeah, it's like anytime you get Aku Aku. That's the noise he makes, is Ooga Booga. I think that's what it is, Ooga Booga. That's like that's like the typical kind of words you kind of hear in cartoons back in the day. Anyways, while those characters do their stuff, we're gonna try to get ourselves this. So we need some hairs, some fake wigs. We need the dolls, of course, so we need like 4 of them overall. So this is gonna be a long process if you're just not in a freemium state of wear, if that makes sense. And I think it's around this part that we're going to end off, where I show off something new that I've kind of hinted at way in the beginning of this video. And that is the fact that some older characters now have new not new abilities, but new tasks. And some of them come with newer animations, but others are just kind of recycled, and others are just like go to the building and then they just disappear with the little iconic clock sign and let you know, oh, this person's busy. Which, by the way, it's strange. Ever go to a house and you're busy with something, a clock? Yeah, here it is. Make a disgusting menu, or I think that's what it was. And this is a new task for Slappy. You'll need the one of the stands, I believe, this stand right here, in order to do that. So that's one of the newer items, or not new items, but that's one of the new quests. Then you need Mrs. Dark, who has Investigation Neighborhood, which needs one of the watchtowers here. She also has one where it's, hold on, I'm gonna put this down, but she also has one where she actually knits, which I think I do show off here. So, by the way, this is strange because I believe in the Invasion of the Body Squeezers down here. Yeah, this is just a repurpose of this item, except that one there has a lot more stuff on it. So it's kind of like they take an old item and then they repurposed or refurbished it to something for the event, which is actually kind of a cool idea, or a neat idea, I should say. It does cost money though, and it does drop some of the folders, so that's another way you can get that. Anyways, she does review, or not review, but she does some sort of knitting. She has do some thorough investigations, which needs the old gazebo. She also has some other animations, so, you know, Mrs. Dark, Slappy, Sharon here have new tasks, but there's not the only one. There's also others. But yeah, as you can see, some of these, there's not really animations to see. Most of it just go in the building, and then the little, oh, do not disturb, someone's busy in this house right now kind of pop-up comes up. And I believe there are other characters here also. Yeah, he's done his thing, so that's great. Might have to put him again to do things. Do I have enough? I do. So let's craft the first one, and then we have to do it again for the next video. And then we have Conrad, who has new items. One of them being gather information, yeah, so gathering information is one of them. You do need the Earl's thing for that. Buy supplies, I think, and then the other one's chop down magical tree. You do need a magic tree for that, and I think these are just 3 here that are new. So these are the characters that got new quest lines, and here's with what Conrad looks like when he's chopping down the tree. Simply his chop down animation, except this time he's attacking the one with the face on it, with the Halloween decorations. So that's it for part 2. It's interesting to see how well that went for when it comes to the quests and everything. When we come back for part 3 will be the final, where I've basically wrap everything up, show what's needed and all that, and even show the item itself, the statue, which I think is the Hex. I know it's called Hex something, I just can't recall on the top of my head right at the moment. But as of right now, that's it for this part here. I'll leave you off of that. So we're getting it to 30 minutes. But yeah. Anyways, I'll see you next episode if you are so inclined. Let me know down below what your thoughts are, and I'd like to have a discussion. Anyways, this has been Grim, and I'll see you in part 3. Until then,